Welcome, everyone. We are embarking on an in-depth exploration of the Red Team Field Manual, version 2.0.
That's right.
This overview, I should mention, has been carefully structured with the assistance of artificial intelligence to ensure precision and clarity.
And that's helpful for covering such a dense resource.
Our mission today is to distill the most critical insights from this manual, providing you, our technically savvy listener, with actionable knowledge on cybersecurity operations and testing.
Precisely. This manual is an indispensable resource, offering practical commands and techniques vital for professionals engaged in penetration testing and red team operations.
So, let's get into it.
We will systematically navigate through its core areas, clarifying the significance of each section and explaining its practical importance in understanding and challenging system security.
To truly leverage this manual, it's essential to grasp its foundational structure. It's built around practical commands and their precise syntax.
Which is presented in a very accessible format.
Yes, it seems quite straightforward.
The manual's strength lies in its command tables. These tables clearly delineate variables, such as file paths or IP addresses, using bold, italic, and bracketed formats like file path.
Okay, so that makes it clear what needs to be substituted.
Exactly. This convention directs you to substitute the placeholder with actual operational data. Significantly, all commands have undergone rigorous validation on modern operating systems.
Which ones specifically?
Including Windows 10, Windows Server 2022, and Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, confirming their real-world applicability.
Good to know they're current. Our journey into a target system typically begins with open source intelligence, or OSINT.
Yes, the information gathering phase.
This phase involves meticulously gathering publicly available information, a critical precursor to any direct system interaction.
What's truly insightful about this OSINT section isn't just the sheer volume of tools it lists, but the manual's profound emphasis on the strategic value of intelligence gathering before engaging with a target.
So doing your homework first.
Absolutely. It underscores that overlooking publicly available data is a common oversight. Yet often, the golden nugget for an initial breach lies hidden in plain sight if you possess the right methods to uncover it.
And it lists specific resources.
It does. Resources like dnsstuff.com and network-tools.com are highlighted for network reconnaissance, while icann.org and iana.com are critical for WHOIS data.
Domain ownership details.
Correct. The manual also provides advanced Google search operators, for instance, site.url to confine searches to a single domain, or filetype.extension to pinpoint specific document types.
That's very useful for targeted searches.
It even lists sites like pq.com for searching individuals. This initial data collection is foundational.
Moving into specific environments, the manual dedicates considerable attention to Windows systems.
Detailing various versions and their key architectural components, this foundational knowledge is paramount for any engagement involving Windows.
Can you give some examples?
The manual comprehensively covers Windows client and server versions, including Windows 10, Windows 11, and Windows Server variants alongside their release dates.
Okay.
It identifies essential built-in administrative tools such as taskmgr.exe for process management and regedit.exe for registry modifications.
Standard tools, but important to have listed.
And environment variables like %systemroot%, which consistently denotes the Windows installation directory, are explained. Critically, it pinpoints the locations of sensitive files, such as cwindows system32 and fixsam, known to store user password hashes.
The SAM file, a classic target.
Moreover, it enumerates registry run keys, special registry locations where applications register to launch automatically upon Windows startup, which are prime targets for persistence.
Right, for maintaining access. Once we have a basic understanding of a Windows system, the next logical step is system enumeration. This process is about gathering deeper intelligence.
Mapping out its configuration and identifying potential vulnerabilities.
What kind of commands does it suggest here?
This section offers a comprehensive suite of commands for thorough system enumeration. For instance, System Info provides a detailed operating system configuration, including service pack levels.
Getting the basic OS details.
Then, TaskList SVC reveals services running within each process. For network insights, ipconfig all delivers granular details on all network interfaces.
Essential network configuration info.
You can even query the registry directly using commands like regquery hklmf password to search for password strings within the HKey local machine hive.
Searching for potentially sensitive data in the registry itself.
The manual also demonstrates how to gather intelligence on remote Windows systems, using using commands such as make node.ipaddress computer system get username to identify active user sessions, assuming appropriate credentials.
So extending enumeration beyond the local machine. With initial system information collected, the focus naturally shifts to finding and extracting specific valuable data from these Windows machines, this data mining phase.
This is where targeted intelligence truly begins to take shape. The manual outlines highly effective techniques for targeted file searching.
For
example, dir a SBC PDF to locate all PDF files across an entire drive. It also details searching within file contents, as demonstrated by findsdr si password.txt.
Looking for specific keywords inside files.
Which searches for the word password in text files, ignoring case. A particularly clever technique highlighted is the utilization of the volume shadow service, or VSS.
VSS. How is that used here?
Well, imagine needing to access a file that's actively in use or locked without disrupting operations or leaving a trace.
That's often a challenge.
Commands like wmike shadow copy call create volume C, allow you to create a snapshot of a drive from which you can then extract files stealthily without directly interacting with the live system. It's a powerful method for covert data acquisition.
Very useful. A cornerstone of advanced security testing is the capability to execute commands or programs on a remote system.
Yes, remote execution ability is often what allows for deeper access and control. This part meticulously details commands for executing payloads on other machines.
Which usually requires higher privileges, I assume.
Correct, a process that typically requires elevated administrative rights on the target. The manual illustrates how sc.exe can be strategically employed to modify an existing service's binary path.
Pointing it to your own program.
Exactly, to point to a custom program, then activate that service, and finally restore its original configuration to mask activities.
Cover your tracks.
The MMC-COM object technique is also presented, enabling command execution via PowerShell, primarily on Windows Server targets.
Another vector for servers.
Furthermore, shtasks is covered as a robust method to create, run, and then delete scheduled tasks on a remote system,
offering flexibility for execution.
Providing a flexible means for executing binaries and maintaining a low profile.
For many enterprise environments, Active Directory is the central nervous system. Understanding it is absolutely paramount.
It truly is. Active Directory fundamentally centralizes and unifies a vast array of computing resources, encompassing user accounts, computer objects, and groups within a hierarchical system.
And the concept of a forest.
An Active Directory forest is defined as a collection of domains sharing authentication but maintaining distinct objects. The manual provides a crucial exploitation checklist.
What does that highlight?
Highlighting prevalent vulnerabilities such as unhashed passwords and the widespread issue of password reuse. It also points out that domain service account passwords often remain unchanged for extended periods.
A common security lapse.
And that highly privileged enterprise admin accounts can serve as critical pivots for lateral movement across different domains within a forest. Understanding these aspects is key to effective targeting.
Building on our understanding of Active Directory's fundamentals, the next step involves specific commands to enumerate domain and user information.
Mapping out the environment's human and digital landscape, the manual provides practical commands using the net.exe utility.
Like netuser.
Such as netuser domain to list all user accounts within the current domain, or netgroup domain computers domain to enumerate all computer host names.
Standard but effective commands.
It also delves into dsquery, a potent command line tool specifically designed for querying Active Directory objects.
More specialized than net.exe.
Yes. dsquery can be employed to identify administrative users, list organizational units, or filter computers based on attributes like their operating system.
Can you give an example query?
A specific example provided is dsquery toSviFilter at object class user to locate administrative users, which is a common initial objective.
Finding the privileged accounts. After gaining an initial foothold, modifying system settings can be immensely valuable.
For furthering an engagement, whether establishing persistence or creating new avenues of access, this section elaborates on how to reconfigure Windows settings.
Like enabling RDP.
For instance, it details enabling remote desktop protocol through precise registry commands and firewall rule adjustments. The manual explicitly shows how to completely disable the Windows firewall using netadd firewall set current profile state off.
A direct way to lower defenses.
Other critical commands include adding new user accounts and assigning them to the local administrators group, or even programmatically uninstalling software.
More administrative actions.
It also provides detailed instructions for disabling Windows Defender services or removing its virus definitions via PowerShell, which is often essential for bypassing endpoint detection and response.
Dealing with endpoint security. Maintaining access to a system, even after reboots or user logouts, is known as persistence. The manual distinguishes between user-level and system-level methods.
A very important distinction. User-level persistence, as explained, does not necessitate administrative rights and typically activates upon a specific user's login.
What are some examples?
Examples include adding scheduled tasks, creating specific run key values in the registry, which programs utilize for automatic startup, or simply placing executables within designated startup directories.
Common user-level techniques.
In contrast, system-level persistence demands administrative rights and is configured to execute during the system's startup phase, ensuring access regardless of user login.
More powerful, requires admin rights.
This can involve creating new services, such as a Windows Update proxy service, or exploiting DLL hijacking techniques.
Such as?
For instance, by loading a malicious WPT's extensions.dl file during the system boot process, which demonstrates a high level of sophistication.
Windows scripting, particularly using PowerShell and Batch, represents a powerful capability for automation.
Absolutely. This skill is invaluable in offensive cybersecurity. The manual furnishes practical examples for both scripting environments.
PowerShell examples.
For PowerShell, it features concise one-liners tailored for common reconnaissance tasks, such as performing a TCP port scan or generating a basic authentication pop-up.
And Batch.
For batch scripting, you will find examples like a nested for loop for executing a ping sweep across a network segment, or a script designed for domain brute forcing to test user credentials.
Automating repetitive tasks.
These scripting examples are instrumental in automating various enumeration and exploitation steps, significantly enhancing operational efficiency.
Following initial access, the post-exploitation phase focuses on deepening control.
Acquiring credentials or escalating privileges. This stage aims to maximize impact and explore the compromised environment thoroughly.
What tools are covered?
This part covers essential tools and techniques. Mimikatz, for example, is described as a formidable tool for credential manipulation.
Known for credential dumping.
Enabling pass the hash, PTH, attacks, which allow authentication with stolen password hashes without needing the plaintext password, or the dumping of local password hashes.
Classic Mimikatz functions.
A manual also includes a comprehensive Windows privilege escalation checklist, guiding operators to investigate areas like open file shares with sensitive data or vulnerable DLLs ripe for hijacking.
A systematic approach to Prevesk.
Additionally, file system redirection, a technique permitting the execution of 64-bit binaries from a 32-bit process, is discussed, which can be critical for navigating architectural differences on a target system.
Dealing with 32 versus 64-bit issues. Okay, shifting our focus now to macOS.
It presents its own distinct features and methodologies for system enumeration, which are quite different from the Windows environment.
How so?
The manual lists various macOS versions, from early iterations like Sheeta to more recent releases such as Monterey. It meticulously details the file system structure, highlighting key directories like applications and users.
Standard Mac directories.
A significant distinction from Linux is that macOS typically stores user information, including password hashes within .plus files, rather than the etc. shadow file.
So user info is in property list files.
Correct. Commands like held applications are provided for listing installed applications. Furthermore, sudo plutl daps p vardbd slocalnose defaultisers username.plist can be used with administrative rights to enumerate detailed user information.
Reading those plus files.
The DSCL commands are also covered for listing, creating, and modifying users and groups, including the critical ability to elevate a user to administrator status.
Using the directory service command line tool. Similar to Windows and macOS, Linux systems have specific details and distinct methods for gathering information.
Understanding these is fundamental to assessing their security posture. The Linux file system structure is thoroughly explained, with as the root and important directories such as etc. for system-wide configurations and home for individual user data.
Standard Linux layout. What about key files?
Key files like etc. shadow, which safeguards user password hashes, and etc. password containing user account information are detailed.
etc. password and etc.
The manual provides commands for obtaining operating system specifics, such as unname A for kernel and CPU architecture data, and cat release to display the OS version.
Identifying the Linux distribution and kernel.
It also outlines package management using RPM for Red Hat-based systems and dpkg or apt-get for Debian systems.
Package management commands.
Commands like aid and W are included for immediate situational awareness and identifying logged-on users.
Quick ways to see who you are and who else is logged in. Working effectively with files and ensuring persistent access are critical aspects when interacting with Linux systems.
Absolutely. The manual details a range of essential file manipulation commands. Diff for comparing file contents, RMARF for forceful recursive directory deletion.
Careful with that one.
Indeed. And shred for secure file deletion, which overwrites data multiple times. Modifying file timestamps using touch commands is also covered.
For altering metadata.
It comprehensively details searching for files with find using various criteria and searching file content using grep. File compression and chunking techniques, employing tools like tar, gzip, and zip, are provided for efficient data handling.
Standard Linux file utilities.
For persistence, methods include appending commands to etsetcrc.local, a script executed at system startup, creating Linux services, or setting up cron jobs.
Cron jobs are a common persistence method.
For example, 00nc attack rip, attack report ebench to establish a netcat reverse shell daily at midnight.
A scheduled reverse shell. Linux scripting offers powerful automation capabilities, and post-exploitation encompasses the actions taken after gaining initial access.
Scripting examples include for loops for conducting network ping sweeps and scripts for reverse DNS lookups. For post-exploitation, general commands are listed that prove valuable on a compromised system.
Like what?
Such as a record for audio recording, GCC for compiling C programs directly on the target, and rdesktop to initiate a remote desktop session.
Various useful utilities.
It also details how to mount USB devices for data transfer and how to manipulate bash history, for instance, echo bash history, to clear the current user's command history.
OPSEC considerations, clearing history. Beyond fundamental commands, specialized tools significantly augment capabilities when interacting with Linux systems,
offering advanced functionalities for various tasks. This section thoroughly details the setup and utilization of SSH, Secure Shell.
SSH is fundamental,
including generating SSH keys for secure authentication and configuring advanced features like port forwarding and tunneling.
Tunneling through SSH.
For example, Sirish-R8 0.0.80.127-0.0.443 root at remote IP demonstrates the creation of a reverse tunnel,
allowing external access to an internal port.
The manual also covers TCP dump for network packet capture and analysis, screen for efficient management of multiple terminal sessions, and iptables for comprehensive firewall configuration.
Core Linux networking and terminal tools.
An illustrative example provided is iptables A input A interface namas M state related established JS accept, which permits established network connections vital for maintaining legitimate traffic flow.
A common firewall rule, a foundational understanding of network protocols and configurations, is indispensable in cybersecurity.
As networks underpin all digital operations and interactions, the manual enumerates common port numbers associated with various services, such as 22 for SSH, 80 for HTTP, and 443 for HTTPS.
The well-known ports.
It also outlines specialized protocols and ports used in niche environments like healthcare and SCADA systems.
Industry-specific knowledge.
IPv4 and IPv6 concepts are meticulously covered, including classful IP ranges, reserved private ranges, and practical subnetting calculations.
IP addressing fundamentals.
Cisco commands for interacting with network devices are included, alongside SNMP tools for tasks like listing Windows services or identifying open TCP ports.
Interacting with network gear and using SNMP.
DNS reconnaissance tools such as DNSRecon.py and Nmap's reverse DNS capabilities are also featured, providing robust methods for mapping network infrastructure.
DNS enumeration techniques. Wireless networks represent a frequent target in security assessments. The manual provides detailed methodologies for engaging with them.
From initial reconnaissance to sophisticated testing techniques, it includes a frequency chart encompassing various wireless technologies like RFID, GPS, and Wi-Fi,
providing crucial context for wireless operations.
It mentions Kismet, a widely recognized wireless network detector, and provides essential Linux Wi-Fi commands, such as iconfig to display wireless interface configurations.
Basic wireless commands.
Dedicated sections also cover Bluetooth scanning and comprehensive Wi-Fi testing techniques. These include methods for brute forcing WPA-PSK handshakes using air cracking
Cracking Wi-Fi passwords.
and executing Wi-Fi denial-of-service attacks with tools like MDK3.
Disrupting wireless networks. Web applications are continually exposed to the internet, making them primary targets for security testing.
A deep understanding of their underlying technologies is absolutely crucial for successful engagement. The manual provides profound insights into various web technologies and their exploitation.
How does it approach this?
It covers how to deduce operating system types from user agent strings, which can inform subsequent targeting decisions. Techniques such as the HTML beefhook and embedded iframes are described for client-side attacks.
Browser exploitation framework hooks.
Tools like Reget are showcased for capturing session tokens and curl for crafting customized web requests, including spoofing user agents.
Command line web interaction.
Automated web screenshots with WitnessMe are also mentioned for reconnaissance purposes. The SQLmap tool is extensively covered for SQL injection attacks,
SQLmap is a big one.
detailing how to systematically collect database versions, users, and table names from vulnerable web applications.
Automating SQL injection discovery and exploitation. Databases store the most critical information. The manual provides essential commands for enumerating these across different types.
A high-priority task in any assessment. It offers specific commands for querying 4 distinct database types: MS SQL, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and Oracle.
Covering the major database platforms.
For each, you will find commands to ascertain the database version, retrieve the hostname, identify the current database in use, list all available databases, determine the current user,
Gathering database metadata.
list all users, extract password hashes, and enumerate tables and columns.
Getting schema information and potentially credentials.
For instance, in MS SQL, select@@ version will return the database version, and select name from master.sys databases lists all databases. This systematic approach allows for comprehensive data collection.
A core aspect of cybersecurity operations relies on specialized tools for network scanning, packet analysis, and exploiting vulnerabilities.
These are the workhorses of the trade. The manual provides detailed information on several critical security tools. Nmap is fundamental for network scanning.
Can't do much without Nmap.
It lists scan types like SYN scan SS for stealthy port discovery and UDP scan -SUO. Important options include OS detection -UO and service detection -SV.
Common Nmap flags.
Nmap-SV IP address being a common command for identifying running services. Wireshark is used for network protocol analysis,
Deep packet inspection.
offering extensive filter options such as ekey.adr equals 10.0.50.1 and tcp.port equals 25. Netcat, a simple yet powerful networking utility,
The network Swiss Army knife.
has examples including NCIJVP port to start a listener. Metasploit is a powerful exploitation framework.
The go-to exploitation framework.
It outlines commands to show exploits, payloads, and modules. msvenom is used to create encoded payloads, for example, msvenom p Windows Interpreter reverse LOS IP address lportport-fxe encoded.exe.
Generating payloads with MS Venom.
It covers interpreter commands and how to tunnel Nmap scans through a Metasploit session. Ettercap for man-in-the-middle attacks.
For ARP spoofing and mid-M.
Provides Ettercap-TM ARC for ARP poisoning. Finally, password cracking details Hydra for brute forcing network services and John the Ripper for cracking hashes from files,
Brute forcing and hash cracking tools.
including a process for Excel password-protected documents using Office2 John.py and Hashcat.
Cracking Office documents, too. Programming, particularly in languages like Python and Perl, plays a pivotal role in developing custom tools and scripts.
Enabling tailored approaches for complex and unique scenarios. The manual highlights Python for its versatility across various tasks.
Python is very popular for security scripting.
Examples include crafting a simple port scanner or converting Windows registry HEX format data into human-readable ASCII. It features examples for configuring SSL encrypted HTTP servers,
Setting up secure listeners.
and a script designed to iterate through an IP list, download a file over HTTP, and subsequently execute it. Scapy is introduced as a potent Python library for crafting and sending network packets,
For low-level packet manipulation.
which is exceptionally useful for testing network defenses, such as sending an IPv6 ICMP message or fuzzing NTP services. Perl scripting is also presented for tasks like port scanning, showcasing its continued relevance.
Perl still has its place. Beyond the standard toolsets and scripting, the manual also shares a collection of practical, often ingenious, tips and tricks.
For navigating specific operational challenges, this section includes methods such as performing FTP operations through a non-interactive Windows shell,
Getting around shell limitations.
which can be indispensable in highly restricted environments. It also details techniques for exfiltrating or covertly removing command output from a Linux machine using less conventional channels like ICMP or DNS.
Data exfiltration over covert channels.
Sending email from an open relay using Telnet is another clever trick listed, demonstrating alternative communication methods when direct approaches are blocked. These creative solutions often differentiate successful operations.
Thinking outside the box. Reverse shells are a fundamental concept for establishing remote, interactive control.
Providing a direct command line interface back to the operator. This part provides concise, single-line commands across numerous programming languages and tools,
One-liners for shells.
all engineered to establish a reverse shell connection back to an operator's machine. Examples are given for popular utilities and languages, including Netcat, Perl, Python, Bash, Java, PHP, Ruby, Telnet,
A wide variety of options.
and even leveraging redet to download and execute a script. These one-liners are highly practical for quickly gaining direct system access during an active operation.
Tunneling techniques are crucial for creating secure or covert pathways through complex networks.
Essential for bypassing restrictions and maintaining hidden communication channels. The manual thoroughly describes various tunneling methods. FPipe and SOCAT are presented as tools for forwarding traffic,
Port forwarding utilities.
which facilitates access to internal network services. Stunnel is specifically detailed for creating SSL encrypted Netcat tunnels, thereby securing the communication channel
Encrypting tunnels for stealth.
and making the traffic significantly harder to detect and intercept. These techniques are paramount for navigating network segmentation, bypassing firewalls, and enhancing the stealth of ongoing operations.
Finally, we arrive at the critical concept of tradecraft.
The skillful and artful execution of these techniques within a live environment. This addresses the operational nuances beyond mere technical implementation.
It's not just about the commands.
Precisely. This section emphasizes several critical considerations for effective tradecraft. When creating and deploying artifacts, such as custom tools or payloads, it is imperative to ensure their names and configurations blend seamlessly with the target system.
Blending in to avoid detection.
For persistence mechanisms, validating correct permissions and ensuring the payload process appears inconspicuous are vital. Remote execution demands careful checks to confirm the target machine is within the defined scope,
Scope checks are critical.
and that communication patterns appear normal. Infrastructure setup, such as leveraging a virtual private server, VPS, for command and control, is discussed, including configuring SSL certificates and impables.
Setting up secure C2 infrastructure.
Token manipulation concerns the validity and operational status of hashes or passwords. Lastly, meticulous end-of-day operations are crucial,
Cleaning up properly.
including reverting credentials and adjusting implant callback intervals to a slower rate to minimize detection risk.
We have conducted a comprehensive examination of the Red Team Field Manual version 2.0. From OSINT to Tradecraft, it's been a substantial overview.
It really covers a lot of ground for practical offensive security techniques.
It's a very useful resource.
Indeed. This discussion, crafted with the aid of artificial intelligence, has provided a structured and practical overview of techniques indispensable for cybersecurity professionals.
But it's just an overview.
Exactly. For a complete understanding and to delve into all the nuanced details, we strongly recommend that you read the full book.
It's worth having on the shelf.
Absolutely. Considering all these offensive methodologies, it prompts a crucial question for you, our listener. How does this in-depth understanding of offensive techniques fundamentally enhance our ability to design and build truly stronger, more resilient, and ultimately more secure defensive systems in practice?